Hey, what's up everyone? It's me, Hayton, and this is going to be a walkthrough kill for Telos. Um, it's going to be at 0 rage. This is just to help people who are still struggling with it and need to see a full kill with the mechanics explained as they're happening, even if it's repeatedly. So I'm just going to go through my inventory setup real quick, which is my Supreme Overloads and Super Renewal Potion. I have 2 Super Restore Flasks for Prayer Restoration, which I don't believe is necessary. I just bring 2 just in case for whatever reason the kill goes horribly and I need the extra prayer. 3 Ceridome and Brew Flasks for quick healing. You don't need the flasks really, and especially on 0 rage, it's not super useful to have that much quick healing, but it is good to have just in case things do go wrong, and especially if you're learning. I have runes for Shield Dome, which I have on my hotbar over here on the side, and that is for just in case I can't dodge an attack quick enough. I use that to have the damage I'm going to take. Port into life in case I die. Dark Bow as my shield. It has reflexes and absorptive on it. I mainly use that for Araxor. Personally, I don't recommend having reflexes on your armor for Telos in case you don't miscount or something with the mechanics, because it can kind of screw you up. I really don't like it. It's just personal preference. Some people may prefer it, but it's whatever. Elite Enhanced Excalibur for healing. Replenishment Potion for when you berserk. Ring of Vigor, and Sunspear for when you berserk. You don't need Sunspear, it's just my preference because I like having Planet Feet. Dread Nips for stuns, which I'll probably forget to use throughout most of the kill, but they're still useful when you do remember them. Best melee armor that you have, I have Augmented Malevolent. Amulet of Souls for tanking the hits, not necessary, but again, it's nice. So really just the best amulet you have. It really is just going to be the best melee gear you have because I prefer melee. I could do a magic kill in the future. I don't like it as much, but if you need it, I will gladly upload one for 0 rage or 100 rage. Max cape just because it's convenient for the teleports. Otherwise, just use a kiln cape or the best cape you have otherwise. I have an augmented noxious scythe, so just use tier 90 accuracy. If you have any less, I personally wouldn't recommend doing Telos because it will make the kill a lot harder. Goliath gloves because they stun, which is useful. If you don't have Goliath gloves, don't have access to them, don't worry about it. Just use the best that you have access to. Torva boots, best melee boots you have access to, except for tier 90 power boots because they are way too expensive to be worth using for a casual Telos kill. Silent Surgeon's Ring because the adrenaline saving effect it has is nice. Quiver 4 because why not, extra prayer. Supreme Brawler because of the 10% accuracy. You really want the accuracy boost. If you don't have it, just use another useful combat aura. Except for Berserk if you're learning because that can kind of hurt. And Superior Scrimshaw Vampirism because that's where a lot of your healing will come from throughout the fight. I also have a pack yak full of Rocktails because yay, extra food. Alright, so let's begin. There will be some counting mechanics and I will count out as the hits come to help with the timing. So let's begin. 0 rage. Jump down, and I tried to kill before and messed up the commentary, which is why you see my aura and familiar already ticking. So let's overload up, turn on the Scrimshaw, and let's begin. So there's 7 attacks to worry about before he uses any mechanics. So this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and stunned, 7. So now he's going to use his grab attack, which needs to deal 3,000 damage to break out of, which is pretty easy to do. So 1, 2, and 3. And I'll use this charge attack, so count ticks. 1, 2, 3, 4. Surge on 5th. And good. So now you're going to want to Berserk. 2, Anticipation. Switch to your shield bow. And res that hit. Bang, bang. Switch back. And now DPS for 3 hits. 1, 2. Oh, I miscounted. That's 3. Just DPS. Dread him out again. 1, 2. And next phase at 300,000 HP, which is 75% of his total. And you don't want to let this bar get all the way filled on phase 1 or else he'll do a very high damage attack, which you will see in phase 4. On to phase 2. In this phase, you want to keep him out of the black beam. Now, I forget if his attack cycle carries through directly on this phase. I think it might. Yeah, so he's immediately using his magic attack. If you see him stand still for a few seconds without any reason for it, that means he's preparing his magic attack. It counts as one of his specials, so it will cycle through. So he used hold still, switch, resonance. It's very tough to kind of keep track of it, so you have to be very mindful of it. So that's 1, 2, surge, 5. Sorry, I didn't count that one because I wasn't really prepared for it. 1, 2, 3, stunned, so he's going to do that. I'm going to exit the beam just so I can deal more damage when he grabs me. Isn't super necessary being berserked, but it's whatever. So drag him out. That's 2. He should use a surge attack next. Stunned, so he's going to be awaiting. And also, if you stun him for too long, he will jump straight into his magic attack if he has any anima built up in his bar. At this point, you just want to pray magic. Debilitate after he uses a few attacks, and you want to block him from the beam because he won't move. And after Debilitate wears off, or even a little bit sooner, you'll want to switch to Devotion because it works similarly to Onslaught, where you'll deal more damage as time goes on. So now phase 3, you want to keep praying magic, and you want to keep this little green bar up at the top, more to the left than anything. So begin the phase, do 1 or 2 basics, switch to Vigor, Berserk, Drinker, Drenpot. Alright, so he's stunned. You want to stand in the beam and keep him out of the beam at the same time, kind of. So once he moves over, let's make sure you're in the beam, not him. Assault. Okay, this is cool. Alright, so since you really need to keep him out of it, or else he will start dealing, he'll start doing that, which hurts a lot. And you'll start dealing less damage. So you need to, alright, he's using his charge for 5. It's one of those subconscious counting things. It's kind of difficult to do live because you need to prepare for it, so I'll count to myself. So I apologize for that. Hold still. I know I'm not going to have time to resonance it, so I just freed him and get out of the way. Did deal a bit of damage. He's probably going to use that wave attack again soon since his bar is all the way to the right. In this case is when you want to use your bruise, that way you can speed heal. So that was a bit messy for phase 3 because he did kind of walk into the beam. Ideally, you want to keep him out of it, and that hopefully doesn't happen. So now on phase 4, you want to protect melee, attack him again, send out a Dreadnip again. So keep counting 3, so he was stunned, so this will be 3. You want to use Anticipation and prepare for the stun, but since he didn't use it, you don't have to worry about it. Just his anima attack, you need to run to this font, or whichever one's closest to you. That way you can be prepared for having it absorbed away from you. So now every time he gets to a threshold of 25%, he will summon golems. Now there are 3, Volcanic, Corrupt, and Pure. You want to get rid of the Volcanic first because it can stun, Corrupt second because it reduces your defenses, and Pure last because since you're using overloads, you don't need to worry about... forgot to mention that. When he absorbs a font, he will still be in his special attack cycle. So kind of you have to be prepared. So now he's using a surge, and I forgot that I switched out. I misclicked somewhere along the line. So now every other special that he does though will be an anima one, in which case you want to stand on the font, that way it absorbs it away from you. This will drain your overload if you're out of the font for too long. You also need to press on to the next one, and he'll run over to it. So now he's over at the Volcanic anima font, and these will keep damaging you. So now find the Volcanic, use Anticipation so it doesn't stun you, Hurricane, target Corrupt, Quake, Cleave. Now after the second font, since his bar is full, keep your health high. If you do have Shield Dome, make sure you use it once you see him use a special, which will drain the bar. Alternatively, you can use Reflect, but it's easier to use Shield Dome because you don't have to worry about that being on cooldown like Reflect will be, because he disables the cooldowns when he uses that attack. Or actually after the font. Sorry. So now he's running over there. It can be tough to keep track of the cycles, so don't worry about it too much. Just if you know that he used Hold Still recently, you don't have to worry about it as much because that shouldn't be the next special attack he uses. So now this is the last font. Re-overload if you need to, which I need to. Wait for him to use it. And now just carry on. He should be using the surge attack So Surge, and back to normal rotation. 1, 2, next will be Anima after 3, but he doesn't get there because Scythe is Deeps. So that was a Telos kill. I'm sorry it was a little messy. If people would like me to have a more structured one where mechanics are explained beforehand, then I can try to do that. But hopefully this will help you get a kill. I got Dragon Arrowheads, super nifty. Continue challenge, up to 9%. So yeah, if you're just doing it for your completionist cape requirement for the Reaper title, then just collect your loot and go on your merry way. Aside from that, if you're going to continue, just keep continuing. Mechanics stay the same at the 50%, where he will introduce an anima virus on phase 2 and 3, and then they won't change again until 100%, where he will then have phase 5, and after that, mechanics don't change until, I believe, 150%, 500%, and 1000%. So yeah, I'll link a guide that's better explains the mechanics than this did. But aside from that, I hope this little walkthrough guide kind of helped. I'm sorry it was very messy towards the end as more mechanics began to build on and it became a lot less structured. So yeah, if you guys would like a neater kill, simply leave a comment asking so, and I'll try to do it. I can also do one for Magic. And yeah, hopefully I won't be hopped up on Monster because I had a late shift at work today. So good luck, have fun, and I hope that you guys get the kill that you need. Have a great day or night, wherever you may be, and ignore how fucking awkward I am. So yeah, later.